powerful outbreak of severe convective weather struck Kunming on April 24, bringing large hailstones, intense thunderstorms, and strong winds. The storm also produced short bursts of heavy rainfall, disrupting daily life and raising concerns over potential damage to infrastructure and agriculture. The weather event developed rapidly during the late afternoon as atmospheric instability intensified across central Yunnan. Multiple districts under Kunming's administration soon experienced severe storm conditions, with large hailstones reported in several areas, some reaching sizes comparable to eggs and capable of causing significant physical damage. Residents described the storm as sudden and violent. Dark convective clouds quickly built up overhead, followed by frequent lightning and bursts of thunder. Within minutes, heavy rain and hail began striking the ground with force, producing loud impacts on rooftops, metal structures, and vehicles.
你们望望这个细沟沟到底是干的多深？你望望，细沟沟下沉的很呀。妹妹，你望这个细沟。
In urban neighborhoods, the combination of hail and rainfall reduced visibility and forced pedestrians to seek immediate shelter, while traffic slowed significantly due to slippery road surfaces and falling debris. In affected areas, hail accumulation was observed along roadsides and open surfaces, creating a temporary icy layer unusual for the region's spring season. Several drivers reported difficulty maintaining control of their vehicles as roads became slick. Preliminary reports suggested that some cars sustained damage, including shattered or cracked windshields, dents on hoods and roofs, and broken exterior components.
从以前不扣拿的。
Motorcyclists and cyclists were particularly vulnerable, with many forced to stop and take cover under nearby structures. Agricultural zones on the outskirts of Kunming faced heightened risks as the hailstorm struck during a critical growing period for early season crop. Farmers expressed concern that the sudden impact of large hailstones could damage leaves, stems, and young fruit, potentially reducing yield. While a full agricultural damage assessment was not immediately available, local authorities indicated that field inspections would be conducted in the days following the storm.
没我的菜。
Meteorologists explained that the severe weather was driven by a combination of warm, moisture-laden air near the surface and an incoming cold air mass at higher altitude. This configuration created strong atmospheric instability, allowing powerful updrafts to form within cumulonimbus cloud. As water droplets were carried upward into colder layers of the atmosphere, they froze and accumulated into hailstones before falling to the ground under gravity. The repeated lifting and freezing process within the storm clouds contributed to the unusually large size of some hailstones observed during the event. Wind conditions further intensified the storm's impact. Gusts in some areas were estimated to reach force 7 to 9 on the Beaufort scale, strong enough to sway trees, displace loose objects, and exacerbate the destructive potential of hail. Combined with short bursts of heavy rainfall, these winds also contributed to localized water pooling, blocked drainage in some low-lying areas, and temporary disruptions to urban traffic flow. The storm was not an isolated event but part of a broader pattern of unstable weather affecting multiple regions across Yunnan province. Meteorological agencies noted that eastern and southern parts of the province had been experiencing frequent convective activity in recent days, driven by seasonal atmospheric transitions typical of late spring. The interaction between strengthening solar heating, abundant moisture, and periodic intrusions of cooler air masses has created favorable conditions for thunderstorms, strong winds, and hail.
Yeah, 车压在地下看。
Local governments and emergency management departments responded by issuing safety advisories and maintaining a heightened state of readiness. Residents were urged to remain indoors during periods of active storms, avoid open spaces and tall, isolated objects, and refrain from sheltering under trees due to the risk of lightning strikes and falling branches. Authorities also advised against parking vehicles in exposed areas and recommended seeking covered or sheltered locations whenever possible. Public service announcements emphasized road safety, urging drivers to reduce speed, maintain safe distances, and remain alert to sudden changes in weather conditions. In some areas, temporary traffic congestion occurred as drivers slowed down or stopped to avoid damage from hail. Urban management teams were also deployed to monitor drainage systems and clear minor obstructions caused by debris. Looking forward, the Yunnan Meteorological Observatory warned that weather conditions across the region would remain unstable over the coming days. Forecast models suggested continued cloud development, intermittent rainfall, and the possibility of further convective outbreak.
我操！你看下面全是冰。